Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 Manager 2021 and another part, 2022, sorry, and another part of our Aston Martin career mode. Today, we have got the Austrian Grand Prix around the Red Bull Ring, and of course, we had a rather dramatic episode last time out. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you didn't catch it. Make sure you do go and see it though. But things overall this season are going well, and we are leading both championships still. And I think enough of a spoiler warning now. Yeah, it wasn't ideal to have our Turkey 2010, our Barcelona 2016 moment in the last episode. It was ridiculous. Both drivers crashing into each other on the opening lap. Gasly crashing into Fernando. And both out of the Grand Prix, both cars written off, essentially. And we're now in a really, really tricky situation where we don't know whether we can trust them anymore. It was that sort of incident that makes you question, well, what do I do about that going forward? Because that could have really affected our championship. Now, Fernando Alonso has had an amazing season. Obviously, has won 8 Grand Prix this year, and that's why he's in the position 7 Grand Prix this year. Sorry, and that's why he's in the position he is. But had he not done that, that would have had a serious dent on our championship hopes. And Pierre Gasly struggling a little bit this season, it has to be said. And that's one that I think has definitely got away from us. Our board confidence check-in, they're still high in confidence, but that was a very, very difficult race for us last time out. So let's get ourselves immersed into the action. Gearbox poor condition. Obviously, we changed all of that at the end of last episode, but yeah, that was very, very tough to see in our car, and you have to say it was pretty poor, wasn't it? That sort of incident. But yes, we will move on today, and hopefully we will manage to get a positive performance and a positive episode and get ourselves back on track ultimately, because that's what we want to do. So yeah, let's get ourselves going then. Right, so we're going to go for qualifying position. We're going to say both drivers will qualify in the top 8. I think we were just 7th and 8th in Canada. 2nd and 3rd, of course, in Great Britain. But yeah, it is tough out there. It really is tough. Okay then, I think we're ready and raring to go and ready for the Austrian Grand Prix. So let's get out there and see how we get on.
The battle is surely going to rage this weekend. Welcome to the Green Hills of Austria. The Red Bull Ring hosted its first Grand Prix in 2014, and it's been spectacular ever since. The Red Bull Ring is one hungry beast of a power track. Drivers face a steep climb up to turn 3 and a fast ride downhill through wide corners and straights thereafter. There's plenty of opportunity to overtake here, especially with the help of 3 DRS zones. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder, what else is in store for the teams? Well, there's only one way to find out. Okay then, let's get to it.
Right then, let's have a look at the weather. Looks like it could potentially rain on Saturday, but seems to be clear for Friday and Sunday. So without further ado, let's get into things. Well, at the end of FP3 then, Pierre Gasly on 87% confidence, Fernando Alonso on 97%, so very, very interesting for him. He's got a 3-place grid penalty as well for the kerfuffle in the last race. You can see his car not actually fantastic this weekend. We have managed to use old parts to try and get us through a little bit, but we are going to have to take brand new stuff very, very soon, basically, because of that big shunt. It might even be this race. It might even be this race. It all depends on where we qualify. If we qualify in the lower reaches of the top 10, then I think we'll probably take the new engine with Gasly. I think Alonso should be able to survive nonetheless. But let's get ourselves into qualifying session 1. We are going to simulate Q1. See how we get on. Ooh, 9th and 10th. Could be a bit risky to simulate Q2. But Seb Vettel and Ocon looking good in the Alpine. Going out in Q1, Kevin Magnussen, who's been the form man recently, Giovinazzi, Schumacher, Stroll, and Nico Hülkenberg. Right then. I think we risk it. Well, hang on, let's be sensible about this. Are we going to be using our soft tyres tomorrow? Probably not. Right, let's risk it. This could be an absolute disaster. Ooh, and it nearly was. 8th and 10th. Wow, going out in Q2 then. Lando Norris, Valtteri Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo, Alex Albon, and Zhou Guanyu. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, well, well. We do have 2 sets of soft tyres. I think we have perhaps used some intermediates, which is interesting. But we have got 2 sets of soft tyres for Q3, so we'll get 2 goes at it, which will be nice and exciting. So let's get ourselves in to the 3rd qualifying session. So, and Gasly's going to head out there first. We're going to see what sort of time he can put in. I'm going to get Fernando out there as well. Let's just have a little look at track. It is going to get wet, so we need to get a time in now, basically. This could be our only representative time in this session. So Gasly coming around now. He's going to start his lap. Nobody leaving the pit lane, which is fantastic. So Pierre Gasly, let's see how you get on, son, because that rain is going to be coming in the next 2 minutes. And we're not looking like we've got masses of pace around here. So we kind of need all the help we can get. But we have got, I think, is it Perez? No, it's Verstappen and Russell out there. But that rain is going to be coming very, very soon. You can see it has clouded over here. There's Pierre Gasly throwing it round the middle sector now. And he is purple in that middle sector. George Russell has gone quickest. And Max Verstappen, I think, has just started his flying lap. But here comes Pierre Gasly. He comes round the final corner. He comes up to the line. And that's going to be Paul. That's Paul for now. What about Alonso? Championship leader. He comes up to the line. And he only goes 3rd. Wow. Well, well, well. Max Verstappen, he's struggling. He's got past 2 drivers out there who are on in laps. He's coming around the middle sector. It's only green, so I don't think Verstappen is going to be on pole. And to be honest, I'd be surprised if it's any higher than 4th. And here he comes. Look how much confidence he's got. He flies through the final corner, comes up to the line, and that was a purple final sector, but not quite good enough to get into the top 3. Well, I mean, that last sector just showed how good that Red Bull looks. That's quite unbelievable, really. I think that's Ocon coming up to the line. But the rain has started.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be Leclerc that gets the last laugh, really.
Yeah, and the Max.
But our two guys in the pits. Oh, Leclerc nearly was in trouble there.
Copy.
So let's see what Leclerc can do in this middle sector. Anything? No, just green. He'll of course finish the lap, but I think he's gonna struggle to get above 4th here. Comes flying around the final corner, comes up to the line, and that's only 5th. So not really good enough for him. Ocon coming round now. Is he going to be any better? I don't think so. He comes over the line, he goes 6th. How much further? Yeah, lots off the pace there. So I think Pierre Gasly has got pole position in the bag as long as the rain doesn't stop. Which it's certainly not looking like doing.
Look at that! They've run wide!
That was Perez running wide.
Let's take a look at the replay. So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez. They're forced wide, and they won't be happy at all about that.
No. But, yeah, I don't think... I think people have probably gone out on intermediates, haven't they? Might get better times. The likes of Vettel.
Okay, that's is the end of the session.
So let's keep an eye on Sebastian Vettel. Carlos Sainz, potentially. So there you go, Sainz goes 8th. What about Vettel? What can he do here? Can he go above Perez? Probably will initially, but here we come up to the line with Vettel. And he does go 8th. He goes above Sainz. Perez over the line, and he only goes 9th. Well, well, well. A mixed upgrade for the race then. And it's Pierre Gasly who would have been on pole position, but with his 3-place grid penalty, he will now be starting 4th, which means George Russell will be starting from pole in the race tomorrow.
The time has come to fight it out. It's race day.
We saw a magnificent display of talent from Aston Martin during qualifying. This is as good a grid for them as anyone can hope for. This weekend, Red Bull displayed promise during qualifying. Now they need to capitalize on their grid position and get a good race under their belts. A sunny day here with only a few clouds in the sky. If things stay this way, the weather shouldn't pose any challenges to the teams.
And Austria is always full of surprises, so who knows what lies in store here at the Red Bull Ring.
Okay then, not expecting any rain today, but let's see how we get on. Obviously starting P4. Might try and go hard then mediums. Yeah, that looks a little better to me. And Fernando Alonso will start with mediums and go hard. So, yeah, not much we can really do differently in this race to each other. But hopefully, now we've split the strategy, they won't be at each other's throats on track, because it was a disgraceful incident. Don't think there's any doubt about that, but hopefully we can do something good in the race. So here we go.
I don't want to tempt fate, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. Looking here at Fernando Alonso. They're in second place on the grid, But that could so easily change in the first few seconds of the race. Next for the team, it's Pierre Gasly. They might not be in the top 3 spots, but things could change fast once the race gets underway. The teams are ready to go.
Here we go then. We are ready and raring to go.
It's the race we've all been waiting for. It's the Austrian Grand Prix. And it's lights out.
Oh, lights out, away we go. Very good start for George Russell from pole position. Fernando Alonso off to an okay start as well. And they fly into turn 1, and Fernando Alonso manages to stay in second position. Let's hop on board with him now as he's hounding the back of the Mercedes of George Russell as Pierre Gasly drops down to 4th. Or was, sorry, dropped down to 5th, I think, initially, but now is up to 3rd. What a great move that is. On Charles Leclerc, and Fernando Alonso now having a little look. He's going to have the outside line of turn 4. Around the outside he goes of George Russell, and that is quite fantastic. And now Fernando Alonso leads this Austrian Grand Prix. And we've got Pierre Gasly chasing behind in 3rd. But what a start to this Grand Prix, and Fernando will be trying to eke out this lead. He knows he's probably not got the pace to keep that sort of pace going the whole race, but he starts off in the perfect manner. Pierre Gasly following as well in 3rd as it stands. And now then, I think now's the time to go back neutral. We'll keep pushing on the engine, but go back neutral on the car. And we survived more than 1 lap this race. It was very, very weird yesterday not being able to follow our guys through the whole Grand Prix. It's a long time since anything like that had happened, and well, we've got off to the perfect start in this race. Fernando Alonso leading the way. Pierre Gasly managing to stick with George Russell for now. We've got Charles Leclerc in 4th, Max Verstappen in 5th, and Red Bull certainly do seem the quickest car over this weekend. George Russell definitely hounding the back of Fernando's car now, and of course as we go on to lap 3, DRS is enabled. That's going to make things a lot more difficult for Fernando Alonso. First DRS zone to negotiate, and here we go then with George Russell. He's closing in now on Fernando Alonso as Pierre Gasly closes in as well. And down on into turn 4, this could be a very, very interesting corner. Pierre Gasly pulls way to the inside. And he might have a go to get into 2nd here, and he does. Oh, and there was nearly contact again with his teammate there. Had to back out of it. Wow, Pierre Gasly got very, very close there. And that could have been another Gasly on Alonso moment. Fernando Alonso still leading the race. And as they fly around the final corner, George Russell will have DRS enabled all the way up towards turn 1. Fastest lap of the race goes to Max Verstappen. Gasly's pulling those guys into this battle. So here we go then. Fernando Alonso about to get overtaken, I think, by George Russell. Or did he time the DRS perfectly there? No, he didn't. George Russell is going to make that move, and Russell back into the lead of this Grand Prix, and Pierre Gasly is going to have a little look at his teammate down the inside. Oh, that's close. And Pierre Gasly is through. Of course, the man who was the fastest qualifier yesterday. They're still side by side here. This is very, very risky. Gasly does seem to be the quicker car as it stands. Fernando Alonso still pushing hard, still trying to stay with George Russell as we head into lap 5 of this Grand Prix now. Fastest lap of the race goes to Pierre Gasly as Fernando. Oh, he almost went for it into turn 1 there. Now then, this is a massive DRS advantage. He pulls to the inside. Pierre Gasly's got the outside. George Russell is the sandwich. Filling. And Leclerc takes advantage there, but Fernando Alonso is back into the lead, and Leclerc looks like he's going to take second here.
Checo behind, same lap time.
And this is pretty ridiculous, isn't it? And now Fernando Alonso still leading. Pierre Gasly needs to try and stay with George Russell now to make sure he's within range. This is a ridiculous start, and Charles Leclerc is surely going to take the lead of the Grand Prix on the next lap. Is he going to be able to push on in a way that Russell wasn't able to? So here we go. Charles Leclerc pulls to the inside. New fastest lap for Fernando Alonso.
Got me. Yeah, man.
Alonso has DRS back straight away, and he's straight back through. But then Leclerc's going to have DRS on the run down to turn 4. This is just quite ridiculous, isn't it? So here we go again. Alonso pulls to the inside to try and defend. There goes Leclerc around the outside. And I think that's going to be the lead now for Charles Leclerc. So Leclerc leads. Alonso second, then Russell, and then Gasly, followed by Verstappen, Ocon and Vettel. So Alpine have definitely made strides. It's, wow, what a start to this Grand Prix, and I think Fernando's going to be straight back past again here. DRS enabled, pulls to the outside. I think this is going to be a move into turn 1. And Alonso flies past. And now Leclerc's got DRS. And I think this is going to be another overtake for the lead. Is George Russell going to go down the inside this time? He does. And George Russell now into the lead. He's got DRS as well to pull away.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
Well, is Pierre Gasly going to be able to make a move? Not just yet. And now George Russell more than a second ahead of Fernando. So that's going to be the key. Let's have a look at tyres then. About half the field on hard tyres, half the field on medium tyres. Very, very interesting. Now Alonso is going to struggle to catch up to George Russell, you would feel. So here comes Charles Leclerc. Is he going to be able to make the move on Fernando here? Not quite. And Verstappen having a look at Pierre. Somebody's locked up. Somebody's into the wall. Who was that? I think that was, wow, Sebastian Vettel. We'd seen him in the background. So he locked up and he hit Hamilton. So Hamilton dropped down as well. So Hamilton under pressure now. But Vettel all the way down in 17th. And he has a penalty. But look at this. This is a ridiculous amount of guys. I think now is going to be the time to zoom forward a little bit. Take a breath after 8 incredible laps of racing. I think they're going to be in a bit of a DRS train now. George Russell will be very, very happy.
And Ferrari just gained a place.
He managed to break the 1 second gap. Charles Leclerc starting to catch up a little bit, but not really enough. But with the DRS, there you go. He has now pushed right in on George Russell. I've got some yellow flags. That was Vettel again, I believe.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
And wide onto the gravel. So Leclerc leading, Russell second. Our two guys fourth and fifth as it stands, although Ocon has got past Gasly now.
Alpine just advanced.
And there goes Verstappen into the lead. So Fernando Alonso following through at the moment, but Gasly struggling to keep up to this group. But on the hard tyres, he's of course going to go a lot further into the Grand Prix. And he's going to be coming back at them with fresh medium tyres towards the end of the race. That's the hope. So Gasly sticking with Ocon, but Ocon has struggled a little bit. We've got fastest laps going on. Lower down the order, and Fernando Alonso has taken the lead now.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
Sainz is locked up. And Sainz down to 16th now. But yeah, Alonso very much in this battle. Doing a very, very good job. Somebody else has ran wide.
I think there's been a lock-up.
It was Sergio Perez that time. So he's down to 16th now. We've got quite a mixed up grid. And running order. So Gasly and Ocon managing to build a gap to Norris behind. But struggling to catch up to the top four.
Like a spin.
And how far off are we?
Gained a place.
9 laps from any sort of pit window. But now Fernando Alonso in with a very good chance of this race victory, but just can't quite get more than a second ahead of Max Verstappen, which just means by the time they get to the next DRS zone, Verstappen straight back through. And now everybody is caught up, so the top 6 definitely in the battle for the race victory today. We're the only team. I've got 2 drivers in that battle. And the rest have somebody a little bit further down the order. Lewis Hamilton being the main one. If he can get past Norris, you feel like he could potentially get back into this. But 20 laps into this Grand Prix now. And it's a new fastest lap.
Yeah, that was a purple lap
for Pierre Gasly.
Changes.
Which is interesting, but look at this. This is just ridiculous. A ridiculous quantity of cars here. And now Fernando Alonso potentially having a look around the outside, and George Russell's right on the inside there.
Advance the race position.
And that could have been very, very dangerous. He's down to P4 now, but there goes Verstappen. He's having a look at Charles Leclerc, and he is through. And you can see Gasly staying with these guys all the way so far. I think potentially going a little bit light is going to be the answer here, to try and prolong these tyres as much as possible. Make sure that we're in this battle for the long haul, but George Russell seems to have escaped.
That's a good
somehow.
overtake from Alpine.
Alonso up to second.
Looks
there.
like Aston Martin
That was pretty ridiculous. Let's have another watch of this.
Let's see what happened there. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
And that was just that position. Managed 2 more as well. I think we're going to get to see that one though. Let's have a look.
Take a look now. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Yeah, so there goes Alonso past Verstappen. But yeah, until the pit stops come,
We've just had a car run wide.
there's not really much going on. So trying to look after these tyres as much as we can. And I think we're going to attack them in 2 laps' time.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
Yeah, back to standard with Pierre. And there you go, Leclerc is now in the pits. So we're going to attack with Fernando Alonso. Let's see what sort of stuff he can pull off here. As Gasly, you can see he's clearly dropped off a couple of seconds, but he's going to have the pleasure of a nice clear track once all these guys come into the pits. So Fernando flying through now, and there goes Max Verstappen into the pit lane as Fernando Alonso chasing after George Russell. We are going to be pitting this lap, putting on the hard tyres, and there goes Alonso around the outside. Has DRS again. Flies to the outside. He's going to have a really good chance here. Down into turn 4. So here he goes. I think he's quite going to do it though. Or is he going to go down the inside? This is huge. And what a move that is for Fernando Alonso. That could have been the end of his race there. But George Russell still sticking it in on the inside. But Alonso managing to hold it. And wow, still side by side. And now Alonso's going to be coming into the pit. So here he comes into the pit lane.
Copy. Pit entry.
And he'll be looking to undercut George Russell now.
Okay, roger.
As Pierre Gasly follows through. And he's now 3 seconds behind George Russell. Laps until his pits, so 10 more laps for Pierre. Fernando away nicely. He's behind Hamilton. There's the McLaren and an Alfa Romeo, but Alonso seemingly well in front of that little bit battle behind. So can Alonso get within a second of those guys, have the DRS to defend? Looks like he can. So Ricciardo and Bottas ahead with DRS. Should be able to fend off Ocon at the very least. Now it's all about where George Russell comes out. Russell's in the pits. We're stuck behind the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo. Alonso's still battling. Are either of them in? No. Russell exiting the pit lane now. This is huge for the race where Russell comes back out. Here we go then. Around the outside of Ricciardo, and there's George Russell. Oh, this is going to be close. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Look at how many cars you've got battling for position here. Alonso definitely the filling in the sandwich there. Has DRS though. And can Fernando. As Ricciardo battles with Russell. Still battling. I think Russell should manage to get through, but Ricciardo's still there. And now then, here comes Fernando. He's going to have a little look at Bottas here. Surely he's going to have a good run into turn 1. He pulls right to the inside. Here he goes. And he is going to go down the inside, but still behind Bottas for now. But this time, he does have a good bit of pace, but there's Ricciardo. Down the inside he goes. This is unbelievable. This is just simply unbelievable. And that's Ocon through. Now Pierre Gasly still leading this Grand Prix, of course.
Alpine just advanced.
And with the battling, he's going to be in a very good position. He's just taking care of business. We're going to go balanced with the fuel. We're going to do the same with Fernando.
Okay.
Oh, we've got yellow flags in Sector 2. Somebody's spun. I think it's Mick Schumacher.
Oh, we've had a spin.
And it was.
Just going to need some lift and coast.
So here we go. Can we go down the inside of Ocon? Not quite. Yeah, Gasly doing a sterling job out front. He's about 16 seconds in front of this battle. And Bottas has somehow got back past George Russell. How has he done that? On those old hard tyres. Russell back through. And this is really helping George Russell build that lead. This is the net lead of the Grand Prix, remember. Once Lewis Hamilton and Gasly come into the pits. Still battling hard. Ricciardo's still in front. Oh, Ricciardo now under pressure from Ocon. But this is just ridiculous. How many cars are battling side by side here? Bottas is going to have DRS. He's going to close right in on George Russell. You can see why this train is as long as it is, because of the DRS zones. And now can Bottas stay, or potentially even pass George Russell once again? So DRS enabled. No luck there, and Bottas has got back through. So time to zoom it forward a bit until some of these guys come into the pits, because we are kind of just stuck as it stands. Try and get past Ricciardo and Bottas, but when you're fourth or fifth in the line, it's very, very tough. Although Ocon has managed it. So Ocon and Russell battling for the win here. Alonso got back past Ricciardo, but Verstappen got back past us. And that's Hamilton, I think. That's had an incident.
That's a lockup.
Yeah. And now pit window active for Lewis Hamilton. For Pierre Gasly, sorry.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Gasly being caught up. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to attack this lap.
Box this lap.
Push on the fuel. And see what he can do.
Everything you've got.
We do have a few guys in the pits. Sainz, Perez, Bottas and Ricciardo are in.
So Alpine is now pitted.
And Alonso's coming down the inside of George Russell. No luck there, and actually had to slow right down.
We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Good.
DRS will close him right back in. So Pierre Gasly flying through that middle sector. Ocon is taking time out of him. But of course, Gasly will be going on to the medium tyres. He's going to be on much better tyres than the people around him. So here we go.
Just look after this tyre set though. Look after it.
He comes into the pits this lap. Let's watch the tyre change.
Think about the lift off.
Yeah.
That was a good stint. 44 laps on hard tyres. He's away on a brand new set of mediums. And he's going to be out in front, or out in his own little gap here, which is really, really lovely. We'll see what he can do. Now then, Alonso on Russell. This is a good chance. And he is through nice and easily, really. We'll be seeing if he can get within a second of Ocon. Because it's Esteban Ocon leading the way in this Grand Prix as it stands.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
So 1.2 seconds the gap, and that just means that George Russell will make it back past here. No, not really any luck here for George Russell. I'm not sure he's going to make it stick, is he? Wow! Lots of overspeed towards the end of the corner, and Russell is back through.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
This is pretty crazy, actually.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
And Russell catch Ocon now. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly, 10.0 seconds behind this little group. He's going to be making up that time very, very nicely, thank you. And here we go then, Gasly. Alonso defending from Charles Leclerc. And he manages it for now. And now I think Alonso's going to have the best chance on Russell.
This garage has just gone mental.
And that's Leclerc. Oh, this is close. This is very close. DRS enabled. Russell pulls to the inside. I think Alonso's going to have him.
This is awesome work. Come on.
Right then. Now time to deploy. And see if we can catch up.
And
to
think about
Ocon.
this lifting coast.
Okay.
This is pretty good. 1.2. Actually losing a little bit of time. There's a bit of ARS out the final corner. There goes Leclerc.
Yeah, man. I don't have that pace.
And is Alonso going to be able to go around the outside of Leclerc here? Looks like he is. He's going to be using his ARS here. To good effect, I think. And there you go, closing right in on Ocon now.
Such an awesome job.
Perfect. That's what we wanted. Meanwhile, Gasly within 10 seconds now.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Let's get him deploying. And pushing for a few laps. As Fernando Alonso takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Still a five-way battle for the lead.
Caution on the battery.
Yeah.
Gasly runs out of ERS power, but that's the fastest lap of the race.
Purple lap.
brings them to within 9 seconds of these guys, and Alonso's being overtaken here by not just Ocon, but also Leclerc. DRS enabled though. Oh, well, great side-by-side action here. Ocon goes defensive. Is Alonso going to have a look here? Woohoo! He nearly did. He nearly did. And this is just quite ridiculous to watch. So many drivers pushing their heart out. So again, DRS enabled, getting very close to Ocon. I think it is all going to be about trying to
Recharge on, please.
Yeah.
to utilise these final few laps.
So just charge that pack.
Copy.
And there you go, Alonso through.
Really well
Zoom it
executed.
forward now. I'm going to try and
Sounds like we've had a spin.
keep going with Alonso.
I think we've had a car run wide.
So Alonso P4 now.
The hot and temps, just going to need some lift and coast.
Okay.
Red Bull moved up.
Well, they're going to be able to get back into this battle.
14
I'm
firmly
not
on
sure
fuel
they
limited.
could.
Yeah, copy.
Looks like Aston Martin.
Oh,
have just
multiple
gained the
cars
race
have crashed. What has happened here? Are we going to have late safety car drama? Oh, it's Gasly. I think it's Gasly. What has happened
Let's
here?
take a closer look. Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll.
We had Lance Stroll, and I think he's locked up and he's crashed into Gasly. Oh, no safety car, but he's got a puncture. And that is unbelievable, isn't it? I don't think he's struggling with his front wing, so let's bring him in.
So box and pick confirm.
But that is devastating for Pierre. So Gasly into the pits. He's gonna have he's gonna have soft tyres.
Come on, mate.
Yeah.
He's gonna have 11 laps to utilise them. He'll be hoping for a late safety car here. So here we go, Pierre Gasly away. His punctured tyres gone. And is Gasly going to be able to get back into decent points here? Let's have a little look. Let's see. Yeah, those tyres should last pretty well till the end of the Grand Prix. It's Fernando Alonso in P4 as it stands, but he is struggling to get anywhere near the top 3 here. But he is battling his championship rival Max Verstappen. So here we go. Push a little bit now. Can he close in? think he can. And then goes Verstappen again.
Increase in
So
lifting
I
coast
think
just a little.
Alonso is consigned to 5th at best here.
Red Bull gained a place.
Or 4th at best, I suppose. Unless
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Unless there's a big incident up ahead, which could happen on the final lap of the race. You never know. Pierre Gasly, meanwhile, not really. Well, yeah, Gasly's was overtaken there.
Looked like a clean lap there as
Fastest
well.
lap of the race. Pierre Gasly, a 1:05.1. Don't know how quickly he can make it up here. Oh, Alonso's crashed.
So
what on earth has
Aston
happened here? Fernando locks up, crashes into the back of Verstappen, and I think Verstappen's going to be out.
They'll have felt that. And that was a bitter
safety
blow for
car,
the team.
safety car deployed.
And it may have really hurt their overall chances.
So front wing needed, soft tyres needed, and I think Verstappen is going to be out. Is he?
It's a collision.
I'm really not sure. Safety car. Yeah, Verstappen is out. So a big crash between the two title contenders. Now,
Safety car, safety car.
the thing for Alonso. Now, where is Gasly on track? Can we get him in for potentially another pit stop? No, we're going to cancel that. We're going to cancel that because we don't need it with Gasly. We're going to conserve the tyres, conserve the fuel, harvest the energy.
Back it out, back it out.
Okay.
Right, Alonso. Where's Alonso going to come back out? Come on, get away. It's going to be down to 5th. Possibly behind his teammate here. Oh, 6th and 7th. Well, are we going to get a racing lap? It's lap 69 of 71. Because if we do, Alonso could ridiculously win this Grand Prix. I mean, his chassis is pretty damaged, but again, both drivers have been involved in incidents. Okay, the first one wasn't any fault of Gasly's, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. We might get one racing lap. But is that all we need? It's a very, very short lap.
And that's the lockup.
Oh, somebody's locked up. Is the safety car going to be in this lap? I don't think so. I think we're going to end behind safety car. Which is going to frustrate Fernando Alonso. Unless we get the call now. No. We are ending behind the safety car here, folks, and it's going to be Charles Leclerc that wins this Grand Prix ahead of Esteban Ocon in 2nd place. George Russell is going to finish a brilliant 3rd, Hamilton 4th. Valtteri Bottas an excellent 5th for McLaren. Alonso's going to finish 6th. Gasly's going to finish 7th. Perez 8th. Ricciardo in 9th. And then Carlos Sainz in 10th. Not a good day for Red Bull, particularly obviously Max Verstappen out of the Grand Prix. And that was a big incident for Fernando. And, well, I mean, it's been a scruffy couple of races for us as a team, hasn't it? But luckily, Alonso is actually going to increase his lead in the championship. And we're going to increase our lead over Red Bull in the Constructors. So, despite two very scruffy races, it's all going to be good in the end. Now, obviously, safety car will be coming in this lap, but...
Okay, the safety car is in this
there's
lap.
not going to be any overtaking. We might as well deploy as if we're going to. So here we come, up to the line.
Copy.
Obviously no changes as Charles Leclerc wins the Austrian Grand Prix. So very well played to him.
Yeah, well done again. Good strategy.
And 6th and 7th for us. And that is not what we wanted.
All in all, Fernando Alonso had a good race here today. Aston Martin had a good enough weekend, but there's still some margin for improvement here.
Yes, there's no doubt that they have what it takes. I can't wait to see which direction they go in for the next race.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
As we reach mid-season, the battle will pick up again in the Côte d'Azur. Join us in the south of France at the circuit Paul Ricard.
Well then, there you go. Charles Leclerc wins his first race of the season, followed by Esteban Ocon, a return to form for Alpine in 2nd, George Russell 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Bottas 5th, Alonso 6th, Pierre Gasly in 7th there. Into the Drivers' Championship, as I said, Alonso increases his lead, is now, 37 points ahead of Max Verstappen. Pierre Gasly a long way back in 3rd. Charles Leclerc breaks the 100 barrier. He's into 4th now, ahead of Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton, rounding out the top 6 there. Into the Constructors, we are now 57 points ahead of Red Bull in 2nd. Ferrari there in 3rd on 210. Mercedes currently in 4th. Alpine very close to breaking the 100 mark. And McLaren seem to be doing well there. Now up to 7th place in the Constructors. And looking to take 6th off the Haas team. Pierre Gasly, no development points for him. Alonso does have one. And none for Piastri, but yeah, bit of a shocking Grand Prix for us. It has to be said once again, we're letting ourselves down, making lots and lots of mistakes at the moment. Luckily, manufacturing complete there, but I'd like to actually have a little look at the powertrain, and again, a little bit of damage there on car 2. Car 1 seems okay, but not fantastic. Right, F1 in Schools invitation, of course we will attend that. We always do that. Regulation changes. Let's have a little look at what they are fancying. So they want to bring some sport regulations for the 2025 season. They want to introduce a bonus point for earning pole position. Very, very interesting. Hang on. So regulation change. So they I'm very confused. I'm guessing, is that a glitch? Because it just wants to do that, I think. I don't think they want to do all of this as well. Turn it to 10 to 1, first to 6th. What is it, 2004? Oh, anyway, we'll sort all of that out in the next episode. So if you have enjoyed that, then give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 Manager content. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.